And we're live.
Yo, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am absolutely fabulous, Nick, and yourself?
I'm good. Back from holidays.
Sandra I am back from holiday.
It looked like you had an amazing time.
We did. We had 10 days down the south coast, and we spent over the whole 10 days, we probably spent about 6 hours in our kayaks. And it was just absolutely amazing. Great to be in a space where we could reconnect with each other, but also reconnect back out there to nature, and nature of all different sorts.
That's outstanding. I did see quite a few pictures on Facebook. How exciting. It looked like you had a great time. Yeah. The location looks killer. The kayak, I saw the camper trailer out. You guys looking like you're having a good time.
That's it. That's it. That's what life's all about.
So good. So, yes, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are here Tuesday night, mindset, mental health, and mindfulness on with the amazing Sandra Bartlett. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the importance of making you a priority. Okay. Off the back of, her taking a holiday. Okay. We're getting into the holiday season. This becomes a stressful time of the year for people, right? I mean, like, you're focusing on giving, you're focusing on spending time with other people, you're focusing on making other people happy, right? This is a really good time to start focusing also on making yourself happy and the importance of you. Okay, it's something that I talk to my wife about. Mel, it's something that I do. I am very aware of when I need my own time. Okay, and taking my time. For me, and putting myself, in a situation that's going to be helpful and supportive to, my mental health. Okay, so when I do have, big long days and stuff like that, making sure that I'm onto that. But Sandra, you just went on a holiday. You said this is a big, that's big for you. Reconnecting with yourself and nature and the benefits to that. Let's talk about it.
Most definitely. We are approaching the end of the year, and for all of us, including our youngsters that are at school, right, we're all starting to get tired. Our temper's starting to get a little bit short, right, and we're all trying to spread ourselves really thin. So jumping in and out of everything with that big pressure of it's got to be right for Christmas. Can I say to you, Christmas is an important period of time, but the holiday season is even more important. And it's important, Nick, from a perspective of, I pose you a question. How often have you got to the end of Christmas thinking to yourself, I'm going back to work for holiday. I'm going back to work for a rest. Yeah. And part of that, mate, is because we try to spread ourselves so thin. We try to please everybody else. Can I encourage us this year to take stock a little bit of that and gift yourself the ability to be present, but present for yourself first before you're present for your family. So let's start that process now. So over this next 6 weeks, you start to fill your own tank so that on Christmas Day, you can be the best version of yourself that you can be. And this is a reason why hubby and I took the holiday that we've taken now. We have a large family. Our family is spread out all over Australia, so we're not going to get to see a lot of them for Christmas. However, we've also got a large circle of friends, and we know what December is like when it comes to catch up with this one, catch up with that one, do this, do that, so on and so on. So hubby works in a risk management area, so he's looking after a large contingent of space and also a large contingent of team. So I started hearing him say about a month or so ago, I'm just worn out, I'm just exhausted, I need a break. So I put together a 10-day holiday in our camper where he got to relax. He's read a full book, he's drank a carton of beer, and he's totally sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed. The only days that he had to physically do something was the days that we packed up and we set up our campers. That was it. It was the only thing that he had to do. Other than that, he got to kick back in his chair, sit in the sun, go for a walk on the beach, all that sort of thing. But the most important part was that I was there to do that with him as well. So for both of us, it was about us being able to have those conversations that you don't always get to have, and most importantly, be present for each other. So we had a great conversation that I want to encourage others to have in the car on the way to our first stop. And we only went 2.5 hours on our first day. We just went to Ulladulla and we camped for 2 nights. But on that road trip, I actually said to him, what's the one thing that you want to get from this holiday? And he shared that with me, which then gave me the opportunity to make sure that that happened. But then he turned the clocks on me as well, and he said, well, if that's what I want, what is it that you want? So what happened for the two of us is we got to be able to fill each other's dream about our holiday. The one thing I wanted from the holiday was to be able to reconnect with him, to see him rest and relax, and most importantly, to have a few laughs. So that was what we set out doing. The one thing he wanted to do was to just be able to kick back every now and again. And if he went to sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning, he went to sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning. If he had an afternoon nap a couple of days, then that's exactly what he did. So we're back from a 10-day trip, both feeling really refreshed and prepared now to go into our holiday. So
yeah, and that you ticked off one thing that I was going to say. Like, you say it all the time, like, and I hear people say it all the time. I need a holiday from my holiday, or you're getting back into it, and you're like, was that really refreshing? Was it really the time that you need? What was your expectation? And I remember I think I feel like your expectations of holidays have changed. They change as you get older, and I think that like my expectation when I was younger was different. I think it was like I remember like when I was young and single, it was get tan, drink a lot of alcohol, right? That's like every guy's like holiday, right? Get tan, sit in front of the pool, hit on some chicks, and have some and drink some beer. That's it, right? And now it's like it's having experiences with the kids, that's gonna and you said it's like what to you almost said it. We say it all the time. My wife and I say it all the time because it's something else. We fill our bucket. Okay, you have this bucket of what who you are, the kind, loving things that you have, and what you require, and things get taken out of your bucket, like your kids require time. You're stressed from work, all these things, and these things take things out of your bucket, right? Well, you need to get things put back in, right? You need to fill your bucket, and it's funny. It's like I said, it's a funny statement, but Mel will sit in the morning, wife will sit in the morning and with Sierra in bed. And this is like funny because Sierra is kind of a difficult child.
She's a little live wire.
For anyone that doesn't know, my daughter's a little difficult, but I love her. And Mel says she spends time in the morning and allowing her to just be Sierra and be cute and giggly and talk and in like her little language, and doing her thing, and that helps Mel to fill Mel's bucket. Like, she's being kind and relaxing, and that fills Mel's bucket because the rest of the day she wants to pull her arms out and stick them in her ears, So that's the moment that she gets. We talk about that, like it's like, where's your time? Nick? You need your time. I need my time to fill my bucket. And my bucket may be, honestly, shutting off, playing video games, talking to my friends, sitting on, watching, videos, silly videos on, on YouTube and Facebook, which may be garbage, but it's just like it's a shut off time for me. It's where my mind doesn't have to, because my mind's always moving. It's in perpetual motion. And that's one thing that is important, is just to be able to shut that off and be able to ask for that time, right?
Nick, when was the last time that you just sat and didn't talk and didn't watch anything and just sat to be?
Yeah, I tend, when I do that, it's in my car, to be honest with you. That's my time. Like, if I go somewhere, say I'm going to go, like I have an appointment or I've just left an appointment, usually it's when I've left an appointment. Okay. And what I tend to do is, like, if I leave, after I leave meeting with someone, I'll get in the car and I'll go. Okay. And then I'll maybe go like, a few kilometers down the road, and then I'll park.
Yep.
And I'll let myself, because if I stay at that place where I was, you continue to hold that energy. You know what I mean? Like, so you leave and get out of that space. And then just sit, or like if I'm coming to a new appointment, just to be in that space, sit in the space and be quiet, like, shut the radio off. I've spent more time in the past few months of. I used to spend a lot of time listening when I'm driving, listening to books, listening to iPod podcasts, and it's just going in like all day, coming in from every angle, and just being like, giving that time for it to just tick over.
One of the things that we both enjoyed so much on our holiday was down at Merimbula. There was a dog beach, a beautiful dog beach at the bottom of the van park that we stayed at. So early in the morning, I would take Charlie, because we had Charlie with us, our fur baby. So I would take him for a walk. But on the very point of that, there was a beach seat. So you could actually sit on the beach seat and just watch the waves come in and rock in over the rocks. And that was beautiful. And if I spent 5 minutes there in those 4 days I was in Merimbula, I probably spent an hour there over that 4-day period. It's just beautiful to sit and to just listen and to watch and to, as I was saying, to just be. And this is, unfortunately, one of the things that many of us forget to do, is to give our bodies, to give our minds, and to give our hearts and souls as well the opportunity to settle to a degree, right? And to just be, not to have to watch anything, not to be in tune with anything, not to be having a conversation, not to be learning anything or reading anything, but just to sit and be. And unfortunately, in small business, that's one of the things that we forget. Now, I've had a conversation with Dan, actually, and Dan has said to me, I'm totally motivated, I'm on point all the time, I'm this, I'm that, I'm hungry. Can I say to you that all of us are hungry when we're in business for ourselves and we're an entrepreneur, because most of us entrepreneurs are doing what we class as our passion. We've left mainstream work from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, those sorts of things, because one, we want the flexibility in our life, and two, because we've got a passion, a yearning to be something different, to do something different. So we all have a passion and we all have a hunger. But the difference that I work with is whether that hunger controls me or whether I control it. And I choose at this stage of my life to control it. Now, I control my hunger because I've been in that realm where you've been depressed and anxious, where I've watched from a distance my children grow and then have a son look at me and go, Mum, you're never here. You're not present. And even when you are here, you're not here. And that's one of the things that I help our business owners to get hold of now, or just people in general to get hold of now. Even if you're a stay-at-home mum like Mel, for example, right, there is a demand on Mel's time. She works from home. There is a constant demand on her time.
Yep.
So I help her.
In addition with running her business.
Most definitely.
So she's running her business and watching the kids at the same time.
Most definitely. The kids have got a demand on her. You demand her time. This one demands her time. That one demands her time. So there's always a demand on our time, which means that there's a demand on our hunger. But you get to choose whether it controls you or you control it. Because after all, what is time? What is time? It's a TikTok.
Yep.
What is time? What is life? Who says that we have to eat dinner at 6 o'clock at night? Who says we have to eat rice bubbles for breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning? Why can't we swap it up? What's time?
Mm-hmm.
Time is a vehicle. Time is a vehicle. And as an entrepreneur, we get to control how that vehicle is steered. So you'll agree with me, Nick, that many of us that have gone into business for ourselves have gone into business because we want a better lifestyle. We want to make a difference. We want greater flexibility, greater choice, greater power over our choices. So many of us lose that sight because we go into this this mindset of I have to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I'll teach all of you right here, right now, is you can't be anything to anybody if you're not something to yourself first. And that's the whole idea of having a holiday, refreshing and resetting. It's about you being able to slow down your mindset, your heart, your body, your soul, and get back in touch with what's important. Because we can all work hard. We can have beautiful logos. We can have amazing cars. We can have amazing experiences. But if you've got nobody to share it with, then why are you really doing it? Is it your ego that's driving you? Is it your want to be loved and liked and a sense of belonging that's driving you?
It becomes like there was a test I took one time. It was like your subconscious. You know, what is driving your subconscious, and you know where is that? And that's what it was a good, you know, it was really good to take a look at, because you know what you tend to break it down to, like, you know, a lot of people are people pleasers. You know what I mean? Like, and you're working to, you know, please other people instead of working to please yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, like I said, you need to fill your bucket. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, you as a parent, as, you know, a business owner, as a, you know, as a husband, you want to fill other people's buckets, but you got to be careful not to do it at the expense of draining your own. Because there's only so much, like, once the bucket's empty, you've no more to give.
Thing is, Nick, if we look at ourselves as a vehicle, think about your vehicle that you drive every single day. If you took that to the service station, but you didn't fill that, but you filled up everybody else's car that was at the station at the same time as you were, how far would you get? You can get very far.
Yeah. Whatever's in the tank, and you hope that there's some hope there's something in the tank.
Yeah, everybody else would get to where they needed to go, but you wouldn't. Yeah, and the same sort of thing happens to yourself as well. We need to be able to fuel and refuel ourselves so that we've got the stamina, the energy, the nutrition, the hydration to keep moving forward. Now, can I share with our audience tonight, when I first signed on a little about 5-10 minutes ago, and it was just Nick and I questioned Nick around what's happening with his hydration and the quality of his nutrition. Because when I seen him first up, he looked drained. He looked like he was pressured. He looked like he just about had it.
Yep.
And I share with you, I pushed against him, and I said to him, what about the quality of your nutrition? What about the quality of your hydration? What have you been doing? Because all these things, ladies and gentlemen, are told by a face.
Yeah. So we talk about this. We talk about this with our people all the time too. And it's easy to look out when you're not, you know, looking in. And that's true. You know what I mean? Like, you have to question and remember, you know, to look in, you know, and that's it. Like you said, you know, how is your hydration? You know, what's your sleep like? And I said it, like, I got a CPAP machine. What has it been now? Like almost coming on 2 months. It's coming up on 2 months, I think, something like that I've had it. And, you know, really good sleep. You know, I mean, I would say, you know, it's probably, you know, a 9.5 out of 10, to a 10. And I think probably it's funny. Last night I had, like I said, you know, reflecting back, you know, I had a 7.5 hours of sleep, almost 8. I think it was almost 8 hours of sleep. But for the first time, I think, like, the nose thing got shifted off a little bit, and it wasn't. I woke up this morning thinking this wasn't the best sleep I've had. Out of, like, if you look at, I would rate it out of 10. It would probably last night out of all of them. This is a good reflection. I didn't think of this earlier when you and I were talking. If all of the other ones were 10, this one was probably a 7 or an 8 last night.
The one thing I'd ask you to do is to stop and think about what were you doing about 30 to 40 minutes before you went to bed, and what mindset did you go to bed with? Do you go to bed of a night time in a relaxed mindset, appreciating and celebrating what you've achieved through the day and being grateful for what you've experienced through the day? Or do you go to bed thinking about what's happening tomorrow? Because if you're going to bed thinking about what's happening tomorrow, you're living too far in the future, and you're creating yourself a level of stress and anxiety around what's going to happen tomorrow. but you have no evidence that that is going to happen. So there's an element of fear wrapped up in there. Whereas if you go to sleep celebrating the achievements that you've made through the day, being grateful for the experiences that you've had in the day and grateful for your family and the fact that you've got a lovely, warm, comfortable bed to go to, that allows your brain to slow down.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we all have these things, or we have televisions on the wall in the bedrooms, which those screens, what do those screens do? They keep us awake. They keep it all ticking over. So the question I ask you, Nick, is what were you doing 30 or 40 minutes before you went to sleep last night?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm trying to actually remember what happened. This is probably not good that I don't remember. I actually, so right before I went to bed, it was funny, like maybe about a half an hour before I went to bed, Mel said, asked me about, if I was playing with Sierra, like to sit down and we were building blocks, and I was laying on the floor and we were building blocks, and Sierra was being cute for a little time, short period of time. And then, I will say, like, often before I go to bed, the worst things, you do the worst things, you finish conversations on Facebook, finish, send the last text message of the day, get that last, it's like trying to tie up loose ends in the last half an hour of your day, which is the worst time to do it, And I have no problem saying I'm the worst with that. Like I am bad with that. I have to let go. And it's almost become like a habit, It becomes like becomes a habit that you continue to add to.
So the challenge I put to you for the next month between now and when we meet again, you see this thing?
Yep.
And see the screens.
I'm addicted to it, Sandra. Don't ask me to put it down. Don't ask me to put it down. I'm addicted to it.
Put it down 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Turn off all of your screens 30 minutes before you go to sleep and pick up a book.
Sandra, you're asking a lot.
I am asking a lot. Nick,
I'm addicted. Here's the worst thing. I actually end up reading a lot on my phone, which is the worst. But actually, I've spent a lot. So like a lot of my books that I read on my phone, which is the worst. But I like tip it sideways and read on the phone. But
they're great excuses, Nick.
Horrible. I have no problem saying it's not an excuse. I'm addicted, Sandra. I don't want to stop.
This is a mindset, my dear boy. This is a mindset. So
I set my mind on it, and I'm focused on sticking to my.
So the quality of sleep that you had last night, is that something that you want to repeat over and over and over again?
Oh no, I have. That's just like I wondered about it. It wasn't. Because usually I'll notice once I lay down, I will tie up a bunch of loose ends, and then lay down in bed and start to I relax, and then I'll get into it. It's also very difficult. This is the other thing. For if I plan to go to bed now, it's like I'm gonna get into bed, and then for the next half an hour, because Sierra goes to bed after I do. So she's running in and out, and she's climbing on top of me, and it's not very relaxed. It's bad, you know what I mean? But these are the moments that, she's cute. It kind of fills both of our buckets.
Yeah. The kids are kids.
Interesting.
The kids, Nick. But
it's fun. It's the fun.
The question I'm asking you is: do you want to repeat the quality of sleep you had last night?
No. But
so what are you
last night was a one-off, Sandra.
No, it's not, Nick. You're fooling yourself. You're telling me.
No, it's not. My sleep has been amazing since I got the CPAP machine. It's been awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear this mindset of this young man at the moment? He's feeding me.
No one's listening. No one's listening. We're gonna everyone sign off for the night. We're gonna wrap this up. Nick is right.
I'm calling Nick on his BS, and what he's doing right now is he is using.
No, Dan. No, you're not here. Go away. You make him go away.
Convince this man to put down these devices 30 minutes before he goes to sleep.
You know what? If I was to say that to Daniel Simone, I think we're barking up the wrong tree because I'm usually talking to him.
So both of you put them down and be present for your wife.
My wife's still working at that time, Sandra.
Be present for them. Be present for Sienna, for Sierra. Be present for her.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do have to be reminded to put down the phone in front of that, because in front of the kids, because I do spend more time, and that's it. Like I've been. Do you say? She say 30 minutes or 30 seconds? That's it, Simone. 30 seconds. We only need 30 seconds.
Minutes. 30 minutes, Dan. Can I say that the greatest killer, right? The greatest killer for men is heart disease. Yep. And where does that come from? Stress. And that stress eats away at your ability to sleep, the quality of your sleep. Right? When you have poor quality of sleep, you put weight on, you become anxious, you don't focus, you perspire like it's going out of fashion, your minerals and vitamins are not balanced in your body. So it doesn't matter what quality of nutrition you put in there, it's not going to help. Now you, I know, have got a great mate, Tant, who does all this meditation.
Yeah, Justin, coming on tomorrow night.
How often do you take Justin's advice and slow down and do a 15, 20-minute meditation before you go to sleep? You don't.
Nope, he's right. He's right. I should be.
On your BS, mate, you either improve.
Yeah, you're right. I need to do that. That is probably better. I when I do my meditation, it's usually in the morning or, during the day. But I mean, maybe I will to shift it at night, because it's kind of an interesting scenario. But I mean, like I've always that's an interesting thought, and it's not something that I've thought about, because I usually think of meditation time. And this is a good one. I'm going to bring this up to Justin to have this conversation, because I usually look at my meditation time as like before I come home. Before I present myself to the family, before I go into a meeting, before, just do some, box breathing to get myself kind of relaxed out and into the next one, instead of, doing that.
Not meditation. That is reflection and release. Meditation. Yep. It's not about you turning off your brain or turning off your heart or, anything like that, because you can't function without either one of them. It's about giving yourself the space to connect with your heart, connect with your soul, right? And give everything a chance to slow and to filter. That's what meditation is. Now, that can be sitting in a quiet place with a cup of coffee. It can be sitting in a quiet place with a book. It can be playing your favourite music in the ears, right? It's not about you completely stopping, right? But it is about you creating some space. Now, that's all I'm asking you to do by putting this thing down, is to create some space to be able to slow up your brain so that you start to train it to be able to slow down for you to be able to sleep and to get a quality sleep of 9.5 every night.
Oof. I don't know about 9.5, Sandy.
Nick, can I say to you, over the 10 days that we were on holidays, without a word of a lie, we had no television, right? We had a radio that died 3 days into our camping trip, right? So we had no music, right? It was nothing for the two of us to be laying in bed with a book at 8 o'clock at night. Come 8:30, we're turning off the light and we're going to sleep. And we're not waking up until at least 5 or 5:30 the next morning.
I didn't know there was a 5 in the morning.
You ain't living, man.
I used to be part of the 5 a.m. club. I was part of the 5 a.m. club. And, no. 6 o'clock 6:30 is a good time.
And 6:30 is fine. If that's what works for you, it's great. Right?
Yeah, but my aim is to get to bed at 10:30. To be in bed at 10:30. Then usually there's the half an hour of Sierra coming in and out and making sure everything else is going on. And then usually by 11 o'clock, I'm in bed and I'm asleep, and then I'm up at.
So now the challenge for you is to put this down at 10 o'clock and turn off all the other screens at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Right. For you to be in bed at 10:30, ready to go to sleep.
So I'm going to be messaging you at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Is that what you're saying?
That's entirely up to you. If you need me to hold you accountable for this, then by all means, please do. Will I answer? Probably not.
Because you haven't been asleep for 3 hours already. Don't message me at 5 o'clock in the morning. I will not be up for that. I will not be up for that. No, you're absolutely right. This is something that we talked about. Hours of sleep. Justin and I talked about, and it's something good. And having that, when I went to this, the sleep study, they said you really need to have between 7 and 8 hours of quality sleep. Quality sleep.
Why?
Oh, he went into it, but I have no problem to say. It was just kind of like, he kind of, he's like, I'm like, there was a lot of information coming in from this guy, and he talked really fast too.
System that is all around our body. You often hear people talk of lymph nodes and lymphatic drainage and things like that. We have a lymphatic system that goes through our body and works like a filtration unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The one thing that sleep allows our body to do is we're not filling it with water, we're not filling it with nutrition, we're not asking anything of it apart from to be able to rest. And that gives our filtration system the opportunity to kick in, cleanse our blood, cleanse our bowel, digest everything that we've taken through the day and eaten through the day, through the stomach and the intestine, all that sort of thing. It takes all of that and processes it. So that then when we wake up in the morning, that's why many of us wake up in the morning and the first place we go is the loo, right? Because everything has filtered through. Right. Now, that takes between 7 to 9 hours to do. Right. Now, if you're only getting 5 hours sleep, then your body's not getting the opportunity to restore. Our body is made up of cells. At a cellular level, it's made up at a cellular level. We lose so many cells. We shed our entire skin every 8 days. How do you think our skin keeps regenerating? Keeps regenerating when we're sleeping. So we need to aim for between 7 to 9 hours of sleep to give our bodies the chance, the opportunity to be at its optimum level for us the next day. Now, none of this works properly if, one, we don't have quality of nutrition, two, we don't have a balanced diet as far as minerals and vitamins go, and three, most importantly, is if we don't have enough hydration.
Yeah.
Our bodies are made up of 95% of water. If we don't have that hydration, how can we possibly expect our filtration system to work?
100%. 100%. This is something that we talk about all the time as well. It's something that, we preach, and it's something that, absolutely, if you're not, so we always talk about, you should be drinking, 3 liters of water to 4 liters of water a day. I usually have, so I'll drink, have 2 liters of water, done in the morning before, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'll punch out probably another 2 liters by the end of the day, but somewhere in there, I'll have a water bottle when I, want to work out, or this, that, and the other thing. I'll have something else around, which is really important because you need to be able to flush that out of your body. Okay. Especially if you're in workout, part of you're living your healthy, active lifestyle is working out and, having that fitness routine. And if you're not having, giving your body that chance to rest, like you said, okay, to recover the muscles, getting the muscles to recover and filter out all those bad things, it's not going to make it any easier. I mean, like, your body creates lactic acid when your muscles are straining. Okay, when you're in strain, and that lactic acid continues to build up. Okay, and if you don't allow that to get out of your muscles, it's easier to create cramps. And your muscles don't actually recover as fast. So though all the benefit of working out and all that time, if you're not, you said staying hydrated, okay, and at the same time sleeping well, you're still part of it. Part of what we do, our 21-day program, to the 21-day program. Talk to your coach if you have questions about it. But we have a health guide, okay, to help scale. And one of those things is one of them that's important is your stress level. What is your stress levels looking like out of 10? What's your sleep out of 10? What's your nutrition out of 10? What's your fitness out of 10? And tracking that every single day. It's something that I still, try to keep my mind on. And I don't do it every day. I try to keep it, I do it every couple of days. But like being, reflecting back on, what's your downfall? What was the downfall? Where was it? What are you doing and staying back on it? And that's true. Like you do, if you're not in that space, you can just bury yourself.
And the thing is, Nick, that's why our holidays, our annual holidays, and just those short breaks that we take with our families or friends, that's why that is so critical. That's why it is it's something that we all need. I know as a previous employee, there was always 4 weeks annual leave. And being a leader, when I was a leader, it was a part of my role to make sure that everybody took a regular break, that their leave didn't mount up too much. Why? Because it's all about thinking of your wellness. And unfortunately, as a small business owner or an entrepreneur, we sometimes forget that, we're employees as well. Yes, we might be the business owner, we might be the entrepreneur, the sole trader, or a part of a small team, but without us, that business doesn't run. So we too need to schedule. I can remember when I first started my business, which might add 7 years ago this month. But I know when I first started my business coach at the time said to me, Sandy, you need to schedule your holidays. Because I said to him, how do I take holidays now? I can't just shut up and go. And he said, you schedule them like everything else. He said, so if you want to take a holiday, like this holiday that I've just taken now, I started telling my clients about that a month ago.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't a surprise for them. Right. Now, we're coming up to the festive season, and there's an awful lot of businesses that I can remember as a young girl, they used to shut down a week before Christmas, and they didn't open again until the end of January. Now we're lucky if businesses close down between Christmas and New Year.
Yep.
And I'm saying to some of our entrepreneurs and our young business owners, it's time to change that. It's time to change this for your own health and well-being, and the health and the well-being of your relationships with your families. Yes, you're hungry. Yes, you want to be successful. Yes, you've got some momentum happening in business. And this year of all years, yes, we have been struggling and we've had some ups and downs and some challenges. But you know what? It's time to take care of you. It's time to take care of you, who is the most critical person, the key person to your business. Because without you, your business doesn't operate and it doesn't work. And the people that wear the brunt of that is your family.
Yeah.
So it's time to take stock. It's time to take stock and give yourself permission to, one, be present. Be the best version that you can be by taking ownership, accountability, and responsibility for some of the things that you can control. And that's your mindset, your attitudes, your nutrition, your hydration, and most importantly, your rest.
Yep. Sandy, you're amazing. You're absolutely right. I have to get going because I have a lovely wife that has made dinner for me that I haven't had yet. So my nutrition needs to be taken care of. I can feel myself getting hungry. I love my phone, Sandra Bartlett. I have to think about if I want to put it down harder. Let's see. Let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, workout in Harrington Park. Okay, there's soccer fields in Harrington Park, 6:30 to 7:30. After that, we have Justin Priestley's coming this week. the 18th, and then again he's coming to join us on the 2nd of December. Okay, check the schedule because he's actually going to come after a workout and do meditation for us. It's really good for the body after a workout to then allow for that calming, relaxing. And we're excited to have him. So he's going to meet us in the park. So Wednesday workout, 6:30 to 7:30. Sorry?
Bury this in your sports bag so you don't pick it up again.
Oh, I don't take it out of my bag, but when I get home, once I leave, then I take it out and I'm in front of it. But so 6:30 to 7:30 work on the park, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Justin's going to be there for meditation. Sunday boot camp, and next Tuesday, Max Garcia. Max was on with us back in February, March, way back. I remember it was May, did an amazing speech with us about like his time, life coach. He's an amazing guy, Max Garcia. His time, he's going to be on next week, 7 o'clock for mindset, mental health, and mindfulness. Okay. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take any more time. I have to get to dinner. We're going to get out before the 45-minute mark. I promise you. Sandy, wrap us up.
Not a problem, guys. As you step out into your day, remember that you're important. You are enough, you are loved, and you do belong. But most importantly, remember that the power of your smile makes a difference. And your smile, it is your responsibility. So own it, wear it, and most importantly, let's share it.
Thank you very much. You're the best. We love you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you soon. Thanks for tuning up. We'll see you tomorrow night. Be there for the workout in the park. If you have questions, talk to your coach. See you later, guys.